another episode today, Mindful Builder podcast. Coming to you from the Clima Studios, major sponsor of the podcast. Love working with him, to be honest with you.
And Brad works with him as well.
Yeah.
So it's not as if we're just like virtue.
I was actually saying to someone the other day, Brad's with us.
Here.
Brad's here. So we got Brad on with us for a few episodes today. I was saying to someone last week about Clima, and it was an architect maybe, and it's what you see is what you get from the back end side of things, where they're just like this family-orientated business.
Yep.
Not that I was surprised when we started work with them, more so from behind the scenes, but yeah, what you see is really what you get.
I wouldn't actually be surprised if Gus asked to join our family.
I know.
Like, he does message us a lot.
So Gus the other day, Gus is communications manager at Clima, Brazilian, and he's being a bit of cheeky to me. So someone on one of my comments on Instagram asked a Clima question, and it was just after Brazil lost in the World Cup. But I was like, oh, maybe you should reach out to Gus, but hey, he's been crying a bit at the moment, so hold off a few days. So I was getting stuck into him. But today we're doing a lot of our filming now from the Wilderness Build Co. with Kai's business, just because it's central for all of us. But today we have Brad on. Topics, how do I describe today's topic?
So Brad and myself and Matt and a few of the other people that we sort of chat with a lot have, we talk a lot, really openly, really vulnerably about like whatever's going on in our lives. And I think we always wanted to get Brad in to talk building science and just good building and all that kind of stuff. But he did say that he'd love to come on and talk about experience as a builder in the past couple of years. And I actually reckon this one's probably going to get pretty heavy because I know some of the shit that you've gone through over the last couple of years. And so there could be some tears, could be some cuddles. That's what we're here for. And I know that, Brad's certainly been someone that I've, talked to over the years. When I've had shit going on, he's always been there. And I'd like to think that, me and Matt have probably been that pillar for him as well. Because I know the last couple of years have been pretty shitty for you, Brad.
It'd be fair to say that what you see sometimes is not what you get.
Yeah.
And do you want to elaborate on that?
Let's go back. Let's just tell us where this all started. I mean,
that's why I was sort of, I was using that as
Yeah, I think we had a chat back in the day when you first started about sort of my pathway and, whatever else. And I knew, obviously, I've never been so nervous for a podcast before. I knew early on that I struggled with something, which I guess that turned out to be, stress and anxiety or whatever. And it was obviously amplified heavily the more I got into my career. It was probably 2016-ish after I bought my first house that I sort of had my first real fucking downward spiral. I went from having a heap of disposable income and zero responsibilities to, holy shit, now I've done this thing that I'm responsible for. And it sort of, that hit me for 6 a little bit. I wasn't really expecting it to be that way. Everything had always been hard anyway, but I just figured that in business, it's meant to be hard and that's what it is, and sort of just wrote it off as, this is normal. And
were you told what normal was meant to look like? Or was normal perception that you had yourself?
The experiences that I had early on in the trades was definitely very different from the world that I'm fortunate enough to operate in now. Everything was hard. You worked hard. Like physically we worked so hard as an apprentice. Joe, my old boss, is, one of the closest people in my life now. Like they're legitimately like family to me. He is a great mate, but at the time he was also a great role model and the only role model I had. And basically when shit fucking hit the fan, we just fucking worked hard and sorted out the issue. You know, oh shit, someone hasn't paid you. Let's take on another job and fucking flog ourselves till we get paid. And that solves that problem, you know. It was always hard, but that sheer strength and resilience in that way was what always solved those problems.
But there's always an out, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
There's always a solution.
Yeah, but the solution was just sacrifice yourself and go to work and punish yourself physically.
Do you mean when you say punish yourself, do you mean just by the sheer hours or doing stupid work that was dangerous?
All of it. What, by any means necessary, get fucking paid. That was how I operated. That was the example that was set to me, and I knew no different. And the opposite side of that was like, fuck, now we've got money, let's have fun, let's do cool shit. You know, awesome. And so I just rode that fucking wave for a long time because that's all I knew was, here's a problem. The best way to fix it is just fucking knuckle down and fucking get after it.
Head down, bum up.
Yeah. And so after I bought my house, like I was living at home with my parents and I was literally like fucking booking trips to America for like 6-7 weeks a year, sending my apprentice to go work for someone else and like just fucking off and like living like a king. It was the best. Like it was honestly like the absolute glory days.
And you were at this point single, wife wasn't part of the...
So I met Erica in... She's going to fucking bash me for not remembering the year. Must have been 2016, I reckon. So like I met her about 6 months before I bought my first house.
Yeah, okay.
And yeah, so I had this crazy disposable income, you know, worked hard. Obviously, you know, all the challenges with having your own small business or whatever were still there. But when you've got no fucking bills and you're making adult money, the problems are easy to ignore.
Yep.
Don't we see that in like AFL right now? Isn't it like a 19-year-old, 18-year-old walks into an AFL club earning huge cash and what do you do with it? You're not taught at school how to use money.
Oh, sorry to interrupt for a sec. When you say problems, you're talking about like actually like problems outside of work, like mentally? Like are they the problems that you're talking about? Because you said you just ignored the problems.
Yeah, so like, you know, if someone didn't pay an invoice, it wasn't the end of the fucking world.
Yeah, okay.
I had that much disposable income. Like I wasn't paying a mortgage.
Yeah,
I didn't have a family to support.
Yep.
You
I
know,
get you.
all these things weren't there. And then when I bought the house, I was like, shit, now I've got bills to pay. And I had no idea, you know, whether I could afford it or not.
Yep.
Obviously, you know, I knew that I had money, but I had never worked out a personal budget for us until maybe 6 months ago.
So at that point in time, there was no banking restrictions really. If you wanted a credit card, you'd call one up, they'd send one out. If you want a loan, you just get one.
I mean, it's
a little bit more
being
than that.
Single and self-employed and doing the most that you can to minimize tax. Getting a bank loan's fucking not easy.
Yeah.
You know, but the solution was just work your absolute fucking ring off and save a whopping house deposit.
Yeah.
And get it done. And I had always operated that way. If I want something, I just go to work. It was one of the first things that I loved about being a trade. I want more money. I just work harder. I get more money. Happy days.
Yeah.
And it worked for a really fucking long time. Like when I bought the house, I was like, shit, I need money now. I actually worked, I might have mentioned this previously. I worked 72 days in a row without a break.
72 days in a row. And on the
And
tools
I stopped
as well.
on the tools. This was purely as a carpenter. And like long hours, like 10-hour days. And I only stopped because I had a friend's wedding. Otherwise, I probably would have kept going. That was the only reason that made me not work. And at the end of it, I had heaps of money, obviously, but I was fucking drilled, you know. Physically, absolutely fucking smoked. I was struggling to have a conversation with anyone. Like, I just was absolutely annihilated. And it caused a lot of problems in my relationship with Erica.
Early on.
Yeah, we'd probably been together for maybe 6, 8,
Yep.
9 months or whatever. She had just moved into my house. No, she hadn't moved in, but she was staying over.
Yeah.
She was staying over a lot. And there was, like a lot of conflict there because, you know, I'd get home from work and I'm fucking toast. Like,
We go to bed. It's physical. People don't realize it.
yeah. But like, I'm getting home thinking, fuck, I don't want to talk to anyone. And she's there and she's like, I want to be engaged.
Yeah.
And it's like, so we're just like clashing. And it was really hard. I went to America, which is, you know, that's the place that has always been, you know, what genuinely feels like home, I guess. You know, I've nearly got like a whole life over there. Like, and at that point in my life, I legitimately did. I had an American phone. I had an American wallet with money in it all the time. Like when I wanted to go, I just fucking went, you know? And I got very close to moving there permanently before I met Erica anyway. I went to America and I remember sitting on the dock at my mate's place, which is normally like, fuck, this is the best. You know, like I'm on a private lake in Georgia at a lake house. There's a wakeboard boat there. And I just was like fucking empty. I was like,
Was this after your 72 days straight? And was the
Yeah.
break was the break you going over to America for this wedding?
no, the wedding was here in Australia.
Yep.
I just went to America because that's what I did every year at that.
Yeah. Okay.
At
Cool.
that
So you'd work your ass off and reward yourself with partying practically.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
We've
Yeah.
all been there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but to another level though. It's not just like you work all week on a Friday, Monday to Friday, go out your Friday, Saturday, Sunday, recover. Like you're
You're balls to the wall.
yeah.
Yeah, I was balls to the wall.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I was like work as hard as humanly possible and then, you know, go and enjoy the fruits of your labour.
And I think we need to distinguish here that as a trade, I don't think people understand the pressure you put on your body. And I think that being a physical labor intensive job absolutely smokes your body. And I now look back at when I was like, dad's an electrician by trade, he'd be on the tools and I don't know, you're 5 or 6 and he comes home and you're like, let's kick the footy and he just wants to sit on the couch. And you're like, what do you mean? I now get it.
I think like that physicality is what attracted me to being a chippy. Like, because I'm you know, classic ADHD, can't sit fucking still, and just the fact that you get to work, you're wearing a tool belt and you're going all day. Like, I loved that.
Yeah, it's the only part I actually enjoyed too.
I
Yeah.
fucking loved it.
I think the difference, and I say this now retrospectively, looking back, you know, we'll get into it a bit more later, but the last few months to really reflect
Yep.
on the last decade of my life and like how I got to here. But we wore it as a badge of honor.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, like I did my time with a fucking hardcore wog. It was, yeah, like we are working fucking hard. Like that was what was drummed into him.
Yeah.
You work, you know, and he said to me multiple times, you know, his father worked his ring off. And on his dad's deathbed, his dad said to him, I fucking wish I didn't work as much.
Yeah.
You know, but that's what was drummed into him. And it wasn't drummed into me, but that, you know what I mean? That's just how we operated.
I mean, I think it's a conversation for another time, but I kind of almost feel like it's like gone too far the other way now.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
not going to
No,
comment.
let's not go there. But yeah.
Anyway, so I came back from that trip. Me and Erica split up. I just was like a fucking shell of a human.
So you were depressed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which at the
Were you
time,
diagnosed at that point or you just, now you look back, you've recognised it?
At that point, I wasn't. And I just had the mentality that this is hard because it's hard. If it was easy, everyone would do it.
Yeah. Okay.
Hard is normal.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, I just was like, well, this is part and parcel like of what I'm doing.
Yep.
I didn't know that I was depressed at the time. I knew I really struggled with, stress, and like at that point in my life, the anxiety was like I had a fucking bad temper, like a horrible temper. I would smash shit, break stuff,
Just within yourself, like in your private time, or like
oh no, fuck no, I'd tee off at work.
at someone, or more just.
It
into your-
depend who was the fucking straw that broke the camel's back. But like I've thrown a brick through a builder's window. Like a full scale.
Over what? Does it give context?
I had a brand new car. It was my first brand new car. It was fucking probably on its first tank of fuel. It was parked in the driveway on the job site. They were getting a brick delivery. I was just framing at the time. I was on the roof. He's like, can you move your car? I was like, I'm not getting down. I threw him the keys. He moved my car. They moved all the temporary fence panels and lent them up out of the way, and the wind blew them straight onto my car. And I just heard this thud. I looked over. There's my first brand new car I've ever bought. It's literally fucking 4 days old. When I say 0 to 100, it probably wasn't even 0 to 100. It was 0 to 1,000. I fucking lost it. And I just fucking got down and got to the front of the job, and there was bricks and there was a window, and fuck.
What happened?
He shit himself. He left. He thought I was going to kill him, which I was running down the driveway screaming, I'm going to fucking
Did he
kill
pay
you.
to fix your car?
No, we moved the temporary fence panels. There was one tiny little scratch buffed out. But, I wasn't...
I shouldn't be laughing at this. Like, I shouldn't be laughing because I reckon your story.
The crazy thing is that, like, I've got so many stories through that first maybe 6-7 years of self-employment that at the time I laughed at, and now I look at it in a complete different light where it's like, fuck, I was really in an unhealthy way.
Is there one story or one moment that you just instantly comes to your brain on that?
Like where you knew you needed to make a change.
Yeah, is there just one moment? No, not now, looking back now, is there one story and you're like, whoa?
I think throwing a brick through a builder's.
Oh, throwing hammers at people.
Are you proud of it? Or were you proud of it? I should ask.
So, for context, 2 people have had a hammer thrown at them. One was a crane operator who nearly threw me off a double-story roof, loading trusses.
Okay.
Right? And I was like,
Fair point.
he shouldn't have been operating a crane.
Yeah.
The second one dropped a live load of trusses into a scissor lift that I was in. So, both of them
Probably
I
deserved
thought
it.
were fairly justified.
Yeah, I'd
But
say that.
had said hammers have hit people,
Yeah.
we're probably not sitting here having this conversation.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
in the
also-
heat of the moment, I didn't give a shit about what I did. But looking back at it now, that's not
From
how
what you say, I don't think they're unwarranted moments.
Yeah,
of
but like
rage.
if you're operating in that way, you should be able to remain calm enough that that's not your first reaction.
So
I think that's super hard. You're
yeah,
fight or
I'm probably
fright.
gonna disagree for a second, and I can only speak from my experience on this. So it's pretty well known that I've been seeing a psych for the last 13 or 14 years, and I pretty much probably like you, Brad, I'm diagnosed anxiety disorder, and my psychologist drew like a graph.
Yeah.
And you've got a vertical axis and a horizontal axis, and you've got time, and then you've got pressure or anxiety, and then you've got this normal line that kind of runs through at a point.
Yeah.
Now, generally, most people kind of go up and down over time with stress and anxiety. What I found for me is I used to go up above that normal line.
Yeah.
Right? Up above that normal line. Up above that normal line. And this is when I'd start to spiral. And then what happens is your new normal goes up higher.
Yeah. Okay.
Which is outside of an unhealthy level of anxiety. And it sounds as if you were at that point as well. So if you think about it, you might operate here, but you're operating higher than what you might
You
operate
just on
at.
you're on a normal roller coaster, and you go to the bigger roller coaster, and you're on the bigger roller coaster, and you just
Absolutely.
keep,
And then all of a sudden, you've always got this level of cortisol within your body that all it takes is one of those moments, because you're already operating at a high level of cortisol, to just spike and it just sends you over.
And you're at this age, 23 to 25, roughly.
Yeah, I was probably like, yeah.
Yeah, you're young.
Late-
So you're also
late 20s.
young, immature, lack of life experience.
Yeah. And the justification to me was they're a dumb fuck. That's why I flew off the fucking handle. But I didn't realize how much damage being in that state of mind constantly was doing to me, like what long-term effect it was.
What have you realised it's done?
I just like, people have said, so I used to be like obviously pretty like footloose and fancy free and whatever, and people are like, oh, B-Rad's dead, like that person's.
Don't you have a tattoo that says live sideways?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, it's like, yeah, I've got older and, whatever, but, now, like I said, retrospectively looking back, it's like, there's been a lot of things that have happened that slowly make you withdraw from stuff. And it's like incrementally, like, bit by bit by bit by bit, and you lose that zest for life, that I used to have, and so, yeah, I didn't think at the time that was happening. I was just like, well, I'm just getting older,
Yeah, but I mean, to use it like a car analogy, and even Matt probably knows this. If you ran your car at high revs every single time you got in it, you're going to fuck it.
Why wouldn't I know
Yeah.
that?
I don't know, because you don't come across as
You're
a
not a car
You're
person.
a car person. Well, Joel would say that. Joel will love this analogy. Like if you
do EVs have revs?
if you ran it at 8,000 revs every single day from the moment you get out of bed to the moment you come home, like one, how the fuck are you to come down from that? And then if you're doing it again the next day, something's going to break.
Yeah. And I did it for a decade.
Well, there you go. Okay, so you fucked the car.
Yeah. And so anyway, me and Erica split up. I sort of calmed down a little bit.
How long?
Did we split up
Yeah.
for? 3 months.
Yeah, okay.
Hey, Maddie, I've been talking to a few people recently and they're like, you know what? You've been building Pro Clima for years. Like, how do we get to where you are?
So we all started at level 0 at one point and we got there. But one of the things that Proclima have on their website is they have a library of so many details from wall to roof to subfloor to window assemblies for multiple different windows on how to use their product and install it correctly. And it's one of the best resources that you can find online to learn how to do this. And if you're an architect and you're not sure how to draw something, they've probably got the answer already.
And I think about, 2018, 2019, when we first started getting into this, we had to trawl through all kinds of different
We had to make it up.
We had to make it up. It's all there for
Yeah,
you.
the answers are free now. And social media is great. There's so many awesome videos and content out there, but the ultimate source of truth is the Proclima website. They have every single detail that you can imagine. And you know what? If they don't have it, you can email them and they'll help you solve it.
Damn right.
So use Proclima, proclima.com.au if you need to reach out to them.
We met through wakeboarding, and we it was like, it wasn't an amicable split. I was a bit of a prick. I just had nothing to give, basically. Like, I just was toast. I was like, I've
got to work.
I don't have any energy to put into anything other than me just getting by fucking day to day.
Yeah.
And then
Did she tell you needed help?
So after we started hanging out again, things sort of, kicked off again, really, like with my anxiety. And she was like, you need to go and get help. And I was like, all right, that seems fucking logical.
Did she say what help?
Did she say what help?
Yeah, psychological or?
No, that's what I knew what she meant.
Yeah, okay.
She's like, you need to go talk to someone or whatever because it's not fucking normal. And I was like, okay. And at that point, like this world didn't exist.
So we're talking maybe 2018-ish, 2019?
No, this was like
so did we still want
end of 16.
So we're still in the same year now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I was like, cool. So I went to a fucking GP.
Yeah.
And he was pretty good. And yeah, just had a pretty open conversation with him, and he suggested going to couples counselling. And I was like,
Not a psychologist?
no. I think like a lot of the stuff was like, obviously it was all to do with my anxiety, but it was really peaked because me and Erica had different ways of communicating and completely different needs as humans.
Yep.
You know, so at the end of a hard day, I want to be left the fuck alone. Erica wants the complete opposite. So she's coming home from a hard day at work wanting that human interaction, and I'm coming home from a hard day thinking I don't want to fucking interact with anyone.
Okay.
And it's obviously causing this conflict in our relationship, because how do you meet both those needs when they're complete fucking opposites? So couples counselling was honestly the fucking greatest money I've ever spent.
Yep.
You know, and it was, again, she's fucking great. Nothing to do with her. It was all of my shit.
Were you selfish, or you just didn't know any different?
Selfish in what way?
Like that you just wanted to go home and do like your thing. Does that make sense? Like, do you felt like do you look back and
It probably was
Yeah.
selfish, but I thought she was selfish.
Yeah, no, that's why I asked her. Yeah.
And that's, you know, because it's like, I'm getting home, I'm going, I just want to be left the fuck alone. Leave me the fuck alone. I've had a hard day.
Yeah.
But she's thinking the same thing in the opposite of like, I've had a fucking hard day. I need it.
Let's go for a walk.
You know,
Yeah.
we operate completely differently, you know, and that was my first, we did all these, you know, fucking exercises and stuff on different personality types and the love languages and all that fucking, it's not nonsense, you know, whatever. It's obviously, you know, legitimate, but I'd never thought about that before. I'd never been explained to it before. You know what I mean? Like I said, I didn't grow up in this world that we operate in now. And I have this conversation all the time with Joe. He's like, I don't know how you're still in the building game. It's fucked. And I'm like, I don't operate in the same world that we operated in when you were in the game. It is not the same thing. It is a completely different industry.
Did you think it was all woo-woo or at the time?
Nah.
No, you actually, so you went in pretty open-minded. You weren't just like, oh,
I've always been extremely open-minded, you know, and I've had a couple of, even like the last psychologist that I saw, he was like, I can't believe how, you know, open-minded you are. Well, not just open-minded, but like, I'm in there to fucking get what I
learn.
can get out of
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
You know, I've always been, hungry to learn about whatever it is. I just had never been exposed to it.
yep. You don't know what you don't know.
No, you know. So, yeah, that was all good. You know, whatever. The following couple of years after that were pretty good. I had all these new tools to deal with my stress and anxiety. Mine and Erica's communication was fucking amazing. We had a safe word so that if I had an absolute fucking asshole of a day, I'd come home, or, you know, if we were in a situation where I was starting to get wound up,
Yeah.
I could just drop the word and remove myself from that situation. And then when I had the ability to calm myself down,
You go back
we
to
could then have a productive conversation
Yeah.
and it not go fucking pear-shaped.
Can you talk about tools, because that's some language that my psychologist uses as well. So, and again, I'm not throwing this back to me. I'm just curious to see what you did, because there's a couple of different approaches when we're dealing with anxiety and dealing with depression. One is CBT, so cognitive behavioural therapy, and then there's also medication.
Yeah.
What were the things that you did? Did you ever get medicated for anxiety?
No.
So you
No.
were using sort of CBT.
Cognitive pain therapy.
Yeah,
right?
cognitive behavioural therapy.
right.
So it's basically understanding how you respond to different scenarios, and then using the tools that they're teaching you to then respond to it.
Yeah. Well, like, the counsellor that I went to was just this lovely woman that worked at a church. I don't know if she was like full trained in anything or whatever, no idea. But basically it was, me understanding what my triggers were. And the biggest thing for me was just like immediate removal from that situation was the best thing that I could do. And then breathing exercises to calm myself down, really.
Yeah, so that's what you're describing as CBT.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, once I'd had the time to, I guess, reflect on whatever the situation was, I could tackle it and communicate very differently. So that was all good. We had a fucking good trot. Things sort of, obviously it was always still something that was on the back of my mind, and I knew, this is something that I'm probably going to have to manage for life. It is what it is. Like that's, part and parcel of what I do. And then we got to say 2022. So Erica's pregnant with our son Flynn, and I fucking broke both my wrists in a motorbike accident, which we've discussed before. So that was the first major step in me not being able to resolve a problem by just flogging myself at work.
Because if we go back to some of the things you talked about before, 72 days in a row, the grind, to solve problems, you just worked harder. Like you didn't have those tools at your disposal then.
No, I was.
And motorbike riding was an outlet for you. That was you time.
Yep.
Yeah. So you just lost that.
And that was, I always justified the work by going, but I've got a dirt bike, I can do this. We had built a caravan. Joe, my mate, my old boss, that's what he does now, builds custom caravans. So we had, when he first started his business, we built a caravan through the COVID lockdowns. Mine and Erica's honeymoon was in Joe's fucking driveway because it was in the middle of COVID shit. Anyway.
Do you still motorbike ride? Do you still dirt bike, or have you gone back to it?
I've got a small bike that we rip around on farms and stuff. The crashed bike is still crashed in my shed. And
is that a reminder of what could happen?
Nah, it's we as the the timeline evolves or whatever. But basically, I had a lot of cool hobbies, and like that in 2022 they were gone. But no more dirt biking, no more snowboarding, no more wakeboarding.
And this wasn't related to COVID though. This was just
this was after COVID. I just fucking had a very unfortunate accident.
Yeah,
and it fucking literally changed my life. And
even work. It wasn't just a cheeky motorbike accident. It was a head-on collision. You could have died.
Yes.
Yep.
What did you collide with? A tree?
Another bike.
Oh, I didn't
like going at what? However many?
No, we were only doing probably like 40 Ks each.
What happened to the other
we hit each
person?
other on a blind corner. No brakes. Like
was the other
fucking full
person?
impact.
What happened to them?
He shattered his femur.
Okay, so both of you had
we were fucked.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, we were both pretty cooked.
Yeah.
Broke both my wrists. I chopped a toe off.
Did you not know this?
Did you not know
I didn't know that part.
Oh, man.
Yeah. The other bike's brake pedal went through my boot.
I remember talking to Brad the next day, and he's like telling me about it. I'm just like, dude, are you fucking all right?
But I was on the track with my arm was like fucking, and I was with Joe, and he was like, he's a solid bloke, like he's got it fucking together, and he's just like, holy fuck, the accident fucked him up pretty bad as well because he was right behind us watching, and he always rode in front. And he's like, "Oh, you go," and bam,
okay.
I fucking drilled myself. Anyway, it is what it is. But I remember sitting on the track with, my arm fucking hanging sideways, and I'm like, "Oh fuck, I'll just put a cast on. I'll be back at work in a week or so. Like, no big deal." It's not like I hadn't worked injured before. So I honestly, I didn't think a thing of it. I was like, oh, whatever, I'll figure it out. Because that's how I'd always done that.
And
I'd always just gone like...
How long before you worked out that wasn't going to happen? Was it a week?
I don't know. A few days after the fucking adrenaline wore off, and I realised I couldn't fucking feed myself or wipe my own ass, And I was like, oh, shit, this is probably a bit worse than what I fucking thought it was. And also didn't help that my wife was pregnant at the time.
How many weeks or months pregnant?
Oh, she was halfway.
Okay, so you had a little bit of time to recover, but not much.
Yeah, not a lot. It was good practice for her.
And you got still
'cause
plates
she
in your
had
arms?
Yeah,
Both?
yeah, both
Yeah.
of them. Yep. Yeah. So had the accident, and all these things that was the justification for my hard work. Getting to go and do these things was gone in a fucking instant.
When did you realize they were gone? Did you not did you recognize it later on, or was it something?
No, I recognized it later on. I was fucking naive, but
yeah.
the surgeon at the hospital said to Erica, I was fucking out of it. His left wrist is fucked. Like fucked. Like it's going to be bad. And I just was always like incredibly optimistic about how things would work out, and always just had the mentality that I'll figure it out.
Is that the one that you wear the brace on now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So
Yeah.
it is actually
It
worse.
is
Yeah.
toast.
Yeah, okay. The other one's okay.
The other one's fine. Wouldn't know I broke it.
Yeah. Okay.
So it took a little bit of time for me to realise how cooked it was. And I probably realised how cooked it was at Kangaroo Ground. So I was in rehab for ages, and eventually it got to like, just go back to work or whatever. And I wasn't really like building a hell of a lot at the time. So I actually did a frame for Hamish and just gripped my teeth and just fucking sent it.
Because that's all you knew.
That's all I knew what to do. I was like, I've just had time off work. I need the money,
Do you have income protection?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So side note to anyone, if you're a tradie and you don't have income protection.
Or you're an apprentice.
Or anyone. Yeah. Literally. If you're on a tools, if you do physical work.
Well, there's your mindful moment.
If you're exactly. If you're a hairdresser to a makeup artist to a carpenter to anything where you use your hands that requires you to physically do it, osteo, physio, go get income protection.
Yeah. So I didn't use any income protection because my accident was covered by TAC and you can't claim both. Anyway.
So they still pay you wage at TAC or a certain percentage?
Yes, but here's a little life lesson for you if you're self-employed. If you pay yourself 2/5 of fuck all out of your business, you will get paid 2/5 of fuck all from either your income protection or TAC.
Because they work off what your average is.
Yes.
So pay yourself.
But
Well, that's easier said than done because
I
when
know,
you're
no.
managing cash flow, the easiest thing you can do as a
Not pay yourself.
self-employed is which we'll get into.
So you pay yourself and then put money back into the company. At least show that you're paying yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what I was eligible for via the TAC was 2/5 of shit all. So even though I had it, and same, the coverage that I had at the time in income protection was a lot more than what I was paying myself. So they would have just looked at it the same way and said, oh, you don't make that money.
yeah, okay, that's interesting.
So anyway, something to be
We'll get back to
mindful
that
about.
mindful moment. Yeah.
Anyway, so I fucking barreled myself. I had a pretty rough trot for probably a year after that, just trying to figure out what I was going to do.
Because there was an identity crisis.
We're now
there.
into 2023
You
roughly.
know, like because you,
Yeah.
you know, I think-
we're into, like started 2023.
Because you'd always identified as this person that just sent it, that you could solve all problems using your hands, and then all of a sudden that's taken away from you. And I know, like,
Yeah.
during that time, we were having heaps of conversations around that, and I know it was really hard for you.
Yeah, because I was like, what the fuck do I do? And then trying to find other people to do what I do is really hard. Like, I'm actually pretty fucking good at being a tradie.
I think you're
good at
exceptional at being a tradie, and I think that your standards of yourself are so unbelievably high that you actually struggle when people aren't that high.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's very detrimental. Yeah, and it's like the things that happen on jobs impact me in a way that I've not seen many other people impacted the same way. I only have ever met two other tradies that wear it as hard as I do when things don't go right.
What do you mean don't go right?
Like when things aren't perfect, like it eats me up in a way that is so fucking unhealthy and so hard to deal with. That's not normal.
Like the process isn't perfect, or like the finish isn't perfect, or everything.
The whole lot.
Okay.
So, I mean, I've got experience with Brad being on one of my sites, and I know him and I have had conversations about this frame at Kangaroo Ground, and I'm like, oh, mate, that's fine. And I think we've had conversations around, like, I don't think that I'm less of a builder and don't think that I don't care about quality. But, you know, in my whole triage of this situation right now, that's fine and we can move on. Whereas I know it just completely consumes you.
Yeah, it consumes me. Yeah.
Is anything
just
ever good enough for you then? Are you, is like I'm not questioning what I mean. Yeah, is it like no matter you don't reward yourself? That's what I was trying to get at. Like no matter how well you did it, if it was 199.9, you'd be like, can always do better.
Yeah, yeah, and it's it's something now. Like I said, I've had the last couple of months to really reflect on things and identify big issues that I've got. And so there's going to be some things that that's just my personality and it's going to be very hard to manage, but they're things now that I know I need to try and...
Can I jump?
Awareness is the first step, right?
Can I jump forward? I might be jumping forward to maybe go back. Did all this come around because Bax took his life?
No.
Okay, so it was before this.
Yeah. So anyway, I had the accident, whatever. I soldiered on for a bit, sort of half worked things out, and I just was gritting my teeth and dealing with my injury.
Because you're in pain too, weren't you?
Yeah, I was. Yeah. Like the Kangaroo Ground frame, I was going home and not able to sleep because I was in fits of pain, and I just would go back to work the next day and grit my fucking teeth and send it
because that's what you knew.
It's all I knew how to do. So it was the injury then sort of like set something else off in that I'm now going to work, ruining my body more than it already is for no fucking reward because now all my hobbies are gone.
Other than financial reward.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm about to go on a journey with systems and I'm working with James from BizTech Guru, who he was a guest on our podcast.
He was. And I've actually done a lot of work with James in the past, and it has transformed my business from just being this classic clusterfuck of a building company to a systems-orientated focused business.
From my understanding, it's all focused on builders. And we're going to be doing a live webinar with him coming up as part of this. And it's going to be a big introduction to systems and how it can improve your business.
And the beauty about it, it is going to be absolutely free.
Yeah.
So keep an eye out for the dates. This is going to be a really incredibly valuable workshop to not miss out on.
Yeah, so either shoot us a DM, check the show notes, but we'll put a link below here to show you how to sign up. So
cheers.
Make sure you sign up.
It is. The identity crisis was more than just, am I a carpenter anymore? And it was like all these things that have formed who I am as a person are fucking gone. Can I be a carpenter anymore? I can't fucking wakeboard. I can't surf. I can't snowboard. I can't ride dirt bikes. All gone, And at the same time, I've got a kid, that I can't change his fucking clothes. His first bath, Erica had a fucking shithouse birth experience. So neither of us gave him his first bath because I couldn't pick the fucker up and neither could she.
And they're only 3 kilos, 3.5 kilos at that point too. It's not like it's,
yeah. And it's like, all these things that I thought, I'm going to be able to do all these things as a dad. I can't do it. Physically, my body is better now. Like my wrist has slowly got better. I've got a lot better at not doing fucking dumb shit and making it worse.
You're letting it recover.
And wearing a wrist brace constantly, and that's made a huge difference.
I'm 10 years old on from a wrist reco, and I reckon every day it gets better than what it was. Like 3 or 4 years ago, it's still fucked.
Yeah.
Do you get pain? Because I've got plates in one of my arms.
I get a lot less pain now because I'm not fucking stupid.
But in winter, do you find it gets cold?
Yeah, I get a little bit of arthritis. So I obliterated all the cartilage in my left wrist.
Yeah, okay.
So it gets a little bit, how you going in cold weather.
Yep.
Anyway, after that, I sort of half figured it out, and we had not a bad trot, sort of 23, 24. Financially, I did what I thought was really well, like the best that I had ever done. I was able to completely support Erica being a stay-at-home mum. They were having a fucking
Grand old time.
a grand old time, and my whole life was working my absolute fucking ring off. And, you know,
This was around about the time of the Hempcrete house too, wasn't it?
yeah, so 23, 24 was when I built the Hempcrete house, and I had another project on, a stone cottage resto. So I had plenty of work, and the work was filling my cup up like it was enjoyable work. And so that just became my sole focus. You know, I just put everything into those things. I had just finished building a house for my parents, which, you know, was in itself an incredibly difficult thing to do. You know, I've said it to their face. I'll never have as difficult a client as them.
Were they difficult, or were you the problem?
No, it was just a challenge in that, you know, they try to help a lot, but it's more of a hindrance than a help, but they don't understand. And again, this is, you know, a lot to do with how I communicate things. You know, I'm not the most articulate person when I'm really stressed and anxious.
Yeah.
Like, I shoot from the fucking hip, and I shoot fucking fast and hard.
As we can see.
Yeah. It really fucking...
Which ironically is
I kinda like
is
it.
what's
It works
so
for me.
endearing about you.
Yeah.
In one breath, but I can also understand if you're thinking in your sort of mammalian brain, you know, and you are fight or flight mode,
Yeah.
and not thinking about things rationally, I could see how that raw honesty could just come out as like a barrage of like fuck yous.
Yeah. And obviously, the more stressed that they see me, the more they try to help.
Yeah, okay.
And the more clouded things get for them, and it just fucking snowballs. And yeah, it was a real challenge. Anyway, so we're doing the fucking Hempcrete joint. Everything's, you know,
Shitting in buckets.
yeah. Everything's like all good or whatever, and I'm just sort of looking at those projects thinking, you know, fuck, once these are done, you know, there was all these grand plans with the Hempcrete house, you know, the landscaping, and, oh, you know, we'll enter it in awards and we'll get Marnie to shoot it, and all this sort of stuff. And towards the end of the project, you know, I started to see that, okay, this is probably not going to turn out exactly that way.
What do you mean by that? Not because of your own doing.
No, there was like a lot of things that were like client supply, and
Yeah, just I want to clarify.
they were running out of money. We had an engineering failure at the end, and the whole fucking subfloor deflected, which you probably copped one of the first phone calls.
Yeah.
And it was, you know, lawyer up.
And to give you context, that was definitely not Brad's fault. The engineer completely miscalculated the Hempcrete weight, and
Yeah.
Well, they had their wet Hempcrete weight.
Yeah.
and then
All the bearers deflected.
and in that period had also just shut up shop and gone underground and
Yeah.
And
And,
in
there's
fact-
a stack of Google reviews that all say the same thing.
And in fact, testament to Brad too, because if anyone's listening to this thinking that Brad's a shipbuilder, he is fucking not. I've been to that house, and if it wasn't for Brad, that house would not be what it is.
yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm a psychopath with how I do most things. And I fucking...
Is that how you present to clients? I'm a psychopath.
Oh, they know. They know.
In the best way. by the way.
yeah.
In the
I have a really
absolute-
close relationship with a lot of the clients that I work with and have worked with. And
I want you building my house.
they just understand that there's certain things that I have to do for me,
Yeah.
and just stay out of my fucking way. You know, like, we just put these fucking handmade Moroccan higgledy-piggledy fucking tiles on the wall yesterday, and I nearly need to have a fucking Valium, because I'm like, this is not working with my fucking OCD. Like,
because all different sizes.
Was that the post that she popped up the other day saying what this picture doesn't show is Brad's anxiety?
Yeah. I was like absolutely beside myself. And one of the clients was there. This job's for these two lovely people, Maddie and Russ. They're fucking legends. And Russ is like, oh no, but it's meant to be this like natural look. And I'm like, yeah, I get that. But like some of these tiles are fucked. Like they've got pimples on them and there's glazing missing. And so I'm like, how natural is it got to be?
Do you remember when we went to the fire and ice stuff?
Yeah.
And we walked past the shed and you pointed out the corrugated cladding. And you said, I really like that, but I'd actually like shoot myself putting that together because I would have to match up perfectly all of the rusted bits. And I'm just like, couldn't you just like lay it as it is? And he goes, nah. He goes, I like it now, but I could never lay that.
I have to go somewhere else. Someone else has to do it.
Yeah, okay.
I cannot be involved with that shit. It does not work for me.
What is it? What is it about it?
I don't know. And it's like I look at it finished, and I think, yeah, that fucking looks really good, you know. But I've just always been fixated on perfection.
Yeah.
And so when
Are you a perfectionist?
Yeah.
Are you outside of work a perfectionist?
Oh, it depends on what.
Like around house, like are you like a clean freak and can't? No, so it's you're a perfectionist in building.
Yeah.
On site.
Yeah. Anyway, so we have this fucking engineering failure on this stupid fucking job. And I'm just like, fuck. Now the job's not going to turn out how I want it to turn out, and it's not my fucking fault. You know, the clients have got fucking no money. We've now got to come up with a solution to fix this fucking problem. So it basically ended up me doing, you know, and it's a no-win situation because, like, to them it still cost them a shitload of money, but I basically did it for fucking almost nothing. We finished the job, and there was
big shout out to Yasha, by the way.
Oh yeah, fucking
big shout out to
what
Yasha.
a fucking legend. First time I had ever dealt with an engineer that you could have a legitimate conversation with, and he could explain things, and we could work through it.
Yep.
Amazing. Anyway,
and that's an understatement. The way that you explain that too.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. So we finished the job, and there was, you know, obviously a lot of client supply stuff there, a lot of things that they were doing themselves, and the finished product on the job was just not at all what I wanted it to be.
What do you mean by that?
Yeah, there's like just certain things in there where I got to the end of that project and I looked at things and I was just like, why the fuck did I bother? Why did you get me to build it?
So I'm just going to jump to your defense just for a little bit here. Like I've seen the finished photos of that project and I've been to the house and I understand where you're coming from. Like some of the things didn't quite turn out how you thought it might, but the house is exceptional.
Is that to do with their style of living rather than?
I think that's after.
No,
that's after the fact.
Like, you know, like they oiled the floors themselves. Yeah, I hope you show a reel of Matt's face now.
No, you see, I get this stuff right. But,
I get it.
But I think what I'm, and I think this
It's
is
a natural look, yeah.
This just talks about like different personalities because I'm just like, well, you know what, you painted it, you did it, that's on you. Like I'm proud of all these other things, like, and as a whole,
but like
the project's really good.
Then it's like, okay, when we have people walk through, do I need to like have a caveat and go, oh, actually, I wasn't responsible for that or that or that?
That's what I've done before.
Yeah,
Like, don't look at the painting, I didn't do it.
And I think so.
Yeah, and it just, you know, I had got to a point mentally and in my career at that point that I was like, I just want to fucking do a job like some of the ones that you guys have where like, oh, you've got a landscape gardener and like you get to the end and it's like the whole fucking job is just titties.
Yeah.
You know? And, you know, I had the same thing with like the Little River project. That got to the end and the client sort of lost interest there. And I was like, these jobs finished are going to photograph amazing. I'm going to get so many opportunities out of them. It's going to be the fucking best. And so I just was like fucking, I felt fairly defeated, to be honest, because I was like, fuck, what a fucking huge opportunity cost that I've put so much energy into these and I'm not going to get the reward now of like having a beautiful photographed job that ends up in magazines and, you know.
Was that ultimately the lowest point of you?
Fuck no, not even close.
Yeah.
Okay, that's why.
No, we're just getting started.
I know.
Yeah. So that sort of finished. And I was like, I had been, you know, through pre-con with a couple other projects that fell over and whatever else. And I'd always just like flown by the seat of my pants, not really giving much of a fuck, to be honest. I was always like, yeah, it fucking works itself out. And it always did. And Matt kindly palmed a job off to me that was landed on my desk ready to rock and roll. And I was like, beautiful, this has worked out fucking magic. And
Who
I was
needs
like,
marketing when you got Matt?
yeah, Matt and Hamish, they just fucking palm me the jobs they don't want to do. So this job was ready to rock and roll. I met the clients, got along amazing, job's fucking sick. I'm like, this is unbelievable. So I said to Erica, I'm like, I'm fucking pretty toast. I'm going to take a month off and then start this other job. And I was like, beautiful. I've missed out on like all this stuff with like her and Flynn. I get to be a dad. I don't have to stress. I've been paid for the other job. Like this one's going to be ready to fucking rock and roll. I'll take a month off, hang out with you guys, and then, you know, crack on. And
We're in 2024 now?
yeah. So early-ish 24.
Yeah.
So I get about 2 weeks into this month break and I'm like, there's no fucking way this job's starting. Absolutely fucking no way.
It's every job though. That's just not, yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, I have no idea when it's going to fucking start. I'm going back to work. So like every other time in my life, I was like, I'm just going to fucking get back on
Go
the
back
tools.
to what you know.
And so now I have to tell my family that I'd told I was going to take a month off. I'm fucking going back to work now. You know, and I don't think Erica really understood it. Flynn certainly didn't understand it. Family and stuff don't really understand it. You know, you start getting a lot of the, but I thought you were going to take a month off. Yeah, I fucking thought the job was going to be ready. Like, you know, things change for me. And being, you know, and this is a big thing that I've realised, I'm not a business. I'm fucking Brad. You know, there's no backup plan. If someone calls in sick, there's not 20 other people there to pick up the slack. It's fucking me. Like I'm doing it, you know? And, you know, I'm not this business that makes money when I'm not there. I fucking whack shit together and get paid. That's how I function.
And you've made the comment to me in the past that some people just don't want to grow. They're just happy doing.
Absolutely. I fucking couldn't think of I love you too. I couldn't fucking think of anything worse than sitting in an office every day in front of a computer doing admin. Like it is just not what I see being a builder as, for me personally. You know, I've always wanted to be the problem solver on site, doing all that sort of shit. You know, I got no interest in growing. I've said many times, especially to Jack, I just want to be a myth. You know, I don't want to do marketing, nothing. I just want to build cool shit for cool people. And
One awesome project at the time, that one's finishing, next one's starting.
Yep. Yeah, and when I say I put my heart and soul into a fucking job, I legitimately, like,
and
it is like,
to give context
consuming.
on that, your Bubs project right now with is it the cellar and the glass bricks?
Yeah.
If you want any idea of Brad wanting to push boundaries and putting everything into it, just go watch some of that stuff. Practically making it up.
yeah. So
And not only that, but doing it all himself.
Yeah, but doing it right, but making it like bringing a vision to life.
yeah, but the rabbit holes I go down,
I know.
it's ludicrous. Anyway, I love it. I enjoy it. Whatever, you know. Sometimes it just doesn't work out. And yeah, around this time was the first time that things just didn't matter how hard I worked. It just didn't fucking work out, you know. Obviously, this was the first time in my life that I had other people relying on me, you know, in Erica and Flynn. Erica was a stay-at-home mum. So all that financial pressure it is on me.
And head down, bum up.
Yeah.
Didn't work.
And I
made it.
worked out really fucking fast that without builds going on, my money was fucking disappearing really fucking quickly, like insanely quickly. And so I just went back to what I know, which is just fucking work. And I was doing anything that I possibly could.
You were repairing a boat at some.
Repairing a boat. I was doing farm fencing. My mentality has always been, by any fucking means necessary, I will get money. I couldn't have give two fucks what it was. I'll clean fucking toilets, anything. Like, when shit has hit the fan, I've always just been like, I'm just going to grit my teeth and just fucking get it done. And it did not matter how many fucking hours I put in. It wasn't enough money to support my family.
I feel like that attitude is gone.
What
Just I will do whatever I need to do to put food on the table.
Oh,
In our modern culture.
I'm sure some people have that attitude. Anyway, like, that's neither here nor there. So it got really hard in that now I'm like, and I had said to Erica through 23, 24 when I was doing what I thought was really well financially, I'm like, I don't give a fuck if you never go back to work at all. This is great. You get to have, and I was so proud to be able to give her and Flynn that life of being a stay-at-home mum. And so now I've had to say, I can't take this time off. I've got to go back to work. And then that conversation started going, fuck, like we had a house cleaner and I was like, I can't afford the cleaner anymore. Cleaner's got to go. So now I've put more pressure on Erica to be able to, you've got to do these things. And then it was like, conversations around, fuck Erica, you got to go back to work now, and then it's like, well, how do we make that work? And, some of the early conversations, because I'm waiting for this fucking job to start. And Erica's like, well, do you want me to go back to work? And I'm like, fuck. By the time you find a job, we get Flynn into childcare and all this shit's 3 months down the track, the job will have started. Well, 3 months turned into 4, 5, 6, 7. It actually ended up being fucking 8 months that I was without.
And we're now into early 2025.
I was at started 2025. So I sign a contract for this job and we get started and everyone's like, oh, you must be, everyone's like, oh, you must be so fucking relieved. And I was like, no. I said, I'm fucked. Like, I knew I was financially fucked. And I said to Erica, I'm like, I'm fucked till midway through this year if this job goes well. And did the job go well? Absolutely fucking not.
What do you mean by that?
So I massively underestimated how much labour was going to go into that concrete works by a fucking long shot.
Like hours, like roughly?
How many hours?
Hundreds, thousands of hours?
Oh, thousands.
So,
So what did you do? You just ground.
Yep.
You went back to what you
fucking grit my fucking teeth and I fucking sent it. And I don't know how many form workers listen to this, but I did a hell of a lot of that form work by myself and I stripped all the suspended slab of that cellar, including passing out all the material by myself.
Holy shit.
Because I had no fucking money to pay anyone to fucking help me. My dad would come and help a fair bit, but he's fucking knocking on 70's door, and not a tradie, What else the fuck can I do? There's no money, and that's the thing. People look at the job and, it's a $2.5-3 million fucking project. But like, you got to hit the milestones to get fucking paid.
But you spent if you think about the timeline here, $2.5-3 million over 2 years is nothing in a building and construction company.
$2.5 million is fucking nothing. If the house costs $2.6 million to build, you've taken $100K fucking hit. And that's the thing. That's where a lot of people don't get it. They just hear these fucking numbers. And like, don't get me wrong, I remember pricing that job and going, fuck, I've put this markup on here and my fucking eyes blowing out of my fucking head.
I remember you telling me it.
Because it's like I've doubled my revenue. My highest ever, 23, 24 was my highest revenue and I've doubled it in one contract. Bam. I'm like, I've fucking made it. And
couldn't be further from the truth.
Couldn't be further from the truth. We had another fucking engineering fuck up on that job, which caused a 3-month delay. now I refuse to work with anyone but Yasha.
I'm borderline on that. I've got a project right now that's another engineer, and fuck, are we pulling our hair out? And for an extra $700, it would have been probably saved them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
These ones are free. The next ones you're gonna have to pay for.
Yeah.
It's Oronic Consulting Engineers.
Honestly.
Yeah. So again, I'm going through this period where, you know, gritting my teeth and working my fucking ring off is not working, you know, and I know it's not working. And at the same time, I'm, you know, looking at all these things in my life, like I've got no fucking hobbies. I've got no fucking social life outside of, you know, us catching up, which is like semi-work related. We don't do a lot that's like
Social.
purely social.
Or going
But also, you had a few things outside of your control, but you probably can't talk about on this as well, that's stopped the project.
Yeah, so the clients were selling a business to fund the project, and they've been completely open. But I fucking love them.
like
We
the
get
best.
along so fucking well. Yeah, and they just kept getting information that essentially the goalpost just kept getting moved for all of us, and it was a fucking shit situation for everyone. You know, and I could not be more thankful for
Them.
how much they care about how it's impacted me and how much they've done to make it right as best as they can. My fucking dumbass signed a contract with no liquidated damages, and they came to me and said, we know this is unfair to you and we want to make it right. And they're like, tell us what you're out and we'll fucking sort it out. You know,
Jeez.
where do you find people like that?
You don't.
You know, and that's
one in 1,000, if that.
it's so hard. And I knew that I had a really special relationship with those guys, and it was really hard because obviously, like all this time, I'm talking to different people, and they're like, "Fuck, cut and run."
I don't know how many times I've
Yeah,
told
I
you
fucking
to
leg it.
And let's just we're now into
halfway through
2026 almost now, yeah? Like
Yep.
with the project stopped for 8 months, roughly.
Yeah, so I
You're still not back there.
yeah, so I stopped working at the beginning of January, and yeah, I just was toast. I was mentally absolutely fucking destroyed. Yeah, I knew by then I knew mid last year was probably like the worst it fucking got.
And you sought help at that point.
Yeah, so it got really fucking bad. And like all this time I'm really candid about
You're going to pack it in, you
having
told me.
conversations with people, like asking for help. And like I was properly asking for help. Like all through 2025. Was it 2025?
Yeah.
I was actually saying to people, I'm fucked. I'm in a real bad way. I'm really fucked.
Yeah, you're very open about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, you know, with like family, friends, you know, whatever. I wasn't trying to shelter it. I was like, I'm fucked. I'm
What's
physically
fucked mean? What do you mean by that?
I just like, you know, I couldn't think straight, you know, trying to get up every morning, drag your ass to fucking work by yourself.
In the middle of nowhere, by
In
the
the
way.
middle of nowhere.
In
Like I'm
winter.
isolated. There's no fucking town anywhere near it. You know, do all the work by yourself. Know that you're not really getting paid enough. Then trying to get home and be a present father, you know, a good partner, get all the rest of your shit done. And there's fucking nothing, you know. And I said to Erica one day, I'm like, write down a list of the things that I've done for myself in the last, like, what the fuck is in this life for me? And she just looked at me blank. And she's like, you're right. I can't write anything down. I don't fucking know.
Did you check out of life?
Did I check out?
Yeah.
Probably.
Has you had enough?
Yeah. You know, and it's like, yeah, what do you want to do this weekend? Nothing. I want to be left the fuck alone. I had nothing to give.
You went back to 2016, Brad.
worse. Wait, significantly worse. You know? And I was begging for help. Like properly begging.
To
you know?
Erica.
Yeah, fucking anyone that would fucking ask. You know? Anyone that said, how are you going? Fucking shit. Really fucking shit, you know? And yeah, like a lot of it felt like it was just falling on deaf ears, you know? I looked at Erica one day and I said to her, I was like, how rock bottom do you have to let me hit before you actually fucking help me? You know? And, you know, we've had conversations since, you know, and you know, yeah, after that, she was like, you need to go see someone again. And, you know, I'm really thankful for Jack. But she was like, you got to go see someone again. And I just remember thinking, like, I don't fucking need to see anyone. I need some fucking help. You know, I know the person's going to help me, but like, I fucking need some money in the bank. I need this fucking job to go. Like, I've got all these things in place where like I should be making money and things should be working out. I've fucking punished myself for a fucking decade, worked my fucking ring off. You know, I've done all the fucking right things. Everything that someone says that you should do, you know, including asking for help. I'm going, fucking, please fucking help me. You know, and Erica said to me, you know, maybe it was like early this year. She's like, you know, I thought that you were always speaking in hyperbole because I've ridden such a fucking roller coaster for the whole time that we've been together where I absolutely fucking peak it and then things work out. But it's like, it's not hyperbole. That's like sheer fucking panic. And it's legitimate panic. And after that, it just happens to work out. It doesn't just happen to work out. I fucking punished myself to make it work out, you know? And so, yeah, that was like a fucking really dark, hard period of my life where I was like, fuck, I've done everything. There's nothing in this fucking life for me. I don't have a fucking hobby. And people are saying to me, oh, you need to do stuff for yourself. How? I'm fucking broke. My body's fucked. Like, what am I supposed to do? You know? How do I help myself? I fucking don't know. You know? Yeah, and I went to see this guy, James, and
James is a psychologist.
Psychologist, yeah. You know, and even then I'm like, the first session I had with him, he's like, do you even want to be here? Like, I was so resentful.
As in life, or as in with him there, like as a psychologist? When he asked that question, like, what do you want?
Do you want to be here?
Yeah.
Yeah, because he knew Erica had made me go.
Yeah, okay. So, yeah, okay.
So just my attitude walking in there, I was like, I don't know why I'm fucking here. I know what I need. I need my
money.
fucking bills to be paid. I need just shit to just go my fucking way, you know? And thank fuck he just, you know, drummed into me or, you know, like, I don't know, not drummed into me, but like he just worked really hard at breaking down barriers. And it was, you know, one of the hardest things with that was I'm now taking a fucking half a day off and spending $200 that I don't fucking have to get help. I'm already fucking broke. And when I say broke, I mean like the only thing that kept the roof over my head was the fact that I worked my fucking ass off to have a heap of money in an offset account because I was no longer paying myself any salary out of the business. I was only giving money to Erica out of the business. I wasn't paying the fucking mortgage. I was just watching my offset account deplete. You know, the only thing in that period that stopped me from going absolutely fucking broke was the fact that, thank fuck, I've only ever bought shit with money that's mine. And I had no debt except for the mortgage. You know? Mid 25 before shit got really bad. I wrote my caravan off. And that was the last thing that I had that was like, here's this massive memory that I've got, you know, of something that I built with Joe. That was like, every time I went in the shed, I was like, yeah, that's, you know, there's a reward of my hard work. And I wrote the fucking thing off.
So you lost everything. You had,
Yep.
you had the family.
And then it's like, you know, just all these constant reminders of like unfinished fucking jobs, shit that I've never done. You know, every time I go in the shed, the fucking caravan's gone, you know. And when you're having conversations with people and they're like, oh, but you should be glad that you've got all these fucking tools. It's like, okay, I've got a short-term tax deductible fucking dopamine hit.
But
Happy
also,
fucking
I need him
days.
to do my job.
Yeah. And it's like, yeah, but like what, you know, and it was really through that period where I was like, what is there that's actually for me, that's not work related, that's just for me, you know? And it was, yeah, all these conversations were like, well, you must be so proud that you can, you know, support your family. I am. I'm fucking very proud that I can support my family. But that doesn't change the fact that I'm fucking miserable.
You're allowed to feel shit.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing. I think sometimes in those circumstances is...
There has to be something in life for you.
Have you found that?
No. So I went to see James. Things went really well with him. It looked like this job was going to be kicking back off again.
We're in early...
Late 25.
Okay, yeah.
No.
Early 26.
What are we now?
Early 26 it was.
Yeah, so this was... Yeah, this
Probably
would have been late
Jan.
2025.
Yeah.
And I felt like I was in a good mental space. And I was like, cool. So I stopped seeing James. I'd sort of worked through a lot of things to help me understand, you know, what got me there mentally. And then, I was like, cool, this job's going to go, like, all my stress is going to be relieved, like, we're all good. And then I got the news that the job wasn't going to be ready to go because this business sale had been delayed again. So this was like December, just before Christmas. And I was like, all right, fuck. And I just fucking spiraled, to be honest. So I was like, I fucking can't keep going like this. So I was like, I'm just going to take some time off. They got told that the business sale was going to settle mid-March, end of March. So I was like, well, I'm just fucking hanging it up till March. And a month into me taking a mental health break, Bax took his own life.
Do you want to give context who Bax was?
Who Bax is one of my closest friends, and through this whole putrid, shitty period of my life, he was actually probably really the only person that I socialised with. Like, that I actually went and caught up and had beers with just because we're fucking friends. You know, not because of work or not because someone wanted something or a favour or, you know, and he was, you know, the electrician on my projects and yours as well, Maddie. And, like, I'd had some real fucking deep chats with him, and I remember having a conversation with him, like, mid-December and just being like, why the fuck are we doing this to ourselves? Like, what do we do this? Why? You know, and talking about, you know, like...
Did you get an answer on why?
No, you just do it because you fucking strapped yourself into this fucking roller coaster. Like, what choice have you got?
And ironically, he was the one person that would sit there and listen.
He was the best, you know. And that, you know, I had scared the fucking shit out of me.
That moment or before it?
No, like, when he did it, it was like, it genuinely scared the absolute fucking living daylights out of me. And I rang James and I went back to see James and I was like, how fucking close was I?
I remember calling you that day.
Like, I'm pretty calm, like, when I get shit news, like if shit hits the fan, like I'm the fucking person you want to be around.
You
like
were
I'm,
calm when I called you to let you know. You were calm.
I
I'm
think I'd talk to you just after.
Yeah,
To Brad.
I remember finding out my first person I called was Julie and go, I've got a team in front of me. How do I deal with this? Like my cousin's taken her own life. They kind of unfortunately, you have a bit of experience on how to navigate this situation, but it's a little bit different when you're a boss and the first time you're kind of a little bit naive about it. The second time, you know what happens. You know the story. You know this is it.
I wasn't. I was like shocked that it was him, but I wasn't shocked. You know,
Were
like
you? Sorry to interrupt. Were you in that moment? Did you have this realization that, like, you could see how you could get there?
yeah.
Did you think that would be you?
No, but I don't know if you'll ever understand enough. Like, is it like a gradual road that you go down to get there, or is it
Only those who do
I
it
don't
know,
know.
yeah.
Don't know.
nobody knows because no one's around to fucking tell the tale, are they?
Well, it's hard because, like, what I've learned out of it is that there are different diseases out there. You can have cancer, you can have cardiovascular disease, and you can do everything you can to get over it. You can do the treatment. Sometimes that treatment doesn't work, and unfortunately, it gets you. I think in this case, that was that.
Yeah, and again, it's really hard to actually really understand what one went through Baxter's mind, because I think I don't know him well enough to
Yeah,
really
I
comment,
can't.
so-
Yeah, it's hard. It's yeah.
Yeah.
So we're-
I don't know. I know that we'd had a lot of conversations around like how much pressure there is in your life, and you know I've had these conversations with Erica, and certainly her no, attitude's not the right word. So like at Baxter's funeral, because Baxter's like really close friends with my school friends as well. A couple of the boys said to Erica, after this happens, you look around at other people in your life and wonder if they're the same. And they were referring to me. And it's like, that's pretty fucking confronting. You know?
Can I be honest with you? We were worried.
We've had conversations.
Yeah. Yeah.
Out of a good place, though.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
that's
I know.
that's
I know. And it's like, you know, this is the thing. It's like, I've landed in this fucking little bubble where like I had such an amazing support network of people around me that just wholeheartedly have my back regardless, you know, and, you know, yeah. When we went to the, you know, bloody retreat or whatever, like obviously at that point, everyone well and truly knew that I was in a fucking bad way. And, you know, I just feel so grateful that I had a bunch of friends that were like, hey, let's go do this, you know, thing. Whatever you call it.
Fire and ice.
Yeah.
Breathing, fucking.
Yeah. And, you know, it's like, yeah, we went and sat in a fucking tent or lay down in a fucking tent. And, you know, everyone was, I don't know if everyone cried, but, yeah, it's just crazy that's the thing. And I just remember feeling like this fucking, like, almost like guilt that, like, I've got this and it's, you know, probably a huge thing that's kept me going. And it's like, everyone fucking loved Bax. Like, he's a fucking absolute legend of a fucking
That's
bloke.
an understatement too. Like that, it actually that comment doesn't do it justice. It's like he was the type of person everyone loved.
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
just that person.
Yeah, and he just put all his energy into fucking everyone around him. You know, and yeah, it's just.
So where are you now?
I've actually been in a pretty good place. So after Bax, I actually got really physically sick. I I had like the most intense fucking brain fog. I just was like really fucking unwell. Almost like my body was just shut down. It was like, you know, yeah, this is it. And I was like, yep, I can't keep doing what I'm doing. I got to figure out what's right for me.
This project looks like it's kicking off, like it's a positive move.
Yeah, so I think like the biggest thing for me is I just, you know, had this epiphany that it's like, it's not worth it. You know, I don't give a fuck if it doesn't work out for me running my own show. I couldn't give a shit. I'd rather be happy than miserable with my own fucking business, you know? And I, again, very lucky for people, you know, like you, Hamish, and Coles and Edo's been fucking amazing to where I've got the fucking backup plan sorted now. You know, that whole stress is...
Back off, Kyle. He's mine.
Yeah, that
I
whole...
thought he was working for me. He's closer to my house.
That whole stress around what I'm going to do, you know, we've sat down, I've had the hard conversations, you know, with Erica around, you know...
what happens next?
Yeah. What are our options, you know?
Can I stop for 1 sec? I think one of the things that I just want to point out, one, from the outside looking in, I've seen a shift.
Yeah.
I've seen a massive shift in what you're focusing on. Like, I guess I can see stuff that's happening inside Future Builder. I can see the vulnerability that you're showing to the group and just asking what would be pretty sort of preschool kind of questions, but just owning it. And then the amount of people that are jumping in and saying, this is what you do, this is what you do, give me a call, like I've got your back, and like all the support that's in there.
Yeah.
And actually seeing you grab it and then implement it and actually start to become a builder.
Yeah.
Which I think's been an incredible shift, and I know how difficult it's been because you've had this personality or persona for so long of being Brad, the guy on site that solves problems and just fucking works his ass off,
Yeah.
to being a little bit more dialed in or focused on the whole business side of it.
Yeah. And it's like the business side of things always been in the back of my mind and whatever, and, you know, but trying to find the energy or be in the mental space to actually do things when you're so fucked is so hard, you know? And yeah, when people are like, you know, and obviously people say things with, you know, genuine intent, you know, or they are like genuinely helpful. It's so hard not to be irrationally angry about things because it's like, yeah, I know I need to do these things, but like, I don't have any time. I'm fucking broke as shit, you know? So when it's like, oh, you get this program to, you know, do this, or why don't you get a VA, or why don't you, yeah, great fucking ideas if I had 2 fucking pennies to rub together. Great fucking ideas. And, you know, you get really irrationally angry. I said to Eric I was going to mention this on the podcast. I got angry at you, Hamish, one day. I was at fucking Coles, and I was like, I'd been, you know, I put on a bit of weight after my accident. I was like really hard to shake. And there's a lot of like little things, you know, now looking back, you know, there's so many little things that have contributed to like how my mental health's been. I don't think there was any like one catalyst thing that was like, this is catastrophic. It was just that, you know, everything just kept chipping away at me and chipping away at me and chipping away at me. And like, you can only be so resilient for so long before you just like, I'm done. Yep. And we had a Monday mastermind, and it was some fucking nutritionist or whatever. And, you know, all these things, you know, like we had another one that was like, you know, get all your bloods tested because these are all old fuckers and you got to look after yourself. And I'm like, these things are great, but I'm just like spiraling going like, I want to fucking die before I can afford to
Get my bloods done.
You know, pay $2,000 to, you know, do some testing. And so it's like, what can I do? And I'm like, oh, I can fucking eat healthy. And so I messaged you, Hamish. I was like, what do you eat for breakfast? And you're like, oh, I've got this great fucking nutritionist, you know, which was like all awesome advice. And I'm just like, fuck. just tell me what you ate for breakfast, mate. Like, you know. And now I look back and I was like, that was so irrational to be mad because Hamish was actually being fucking amazing. But when you're like that, it's so fucking hard to make changes, you know, to help you, you know. And now I look at it and I go, fuck, I chat GPT to fucking diet and I've been following it and I've lost 8 kilos.
Yeah, awesome.
And it's such an easy step, but it wasn't fucking easy in the midst of being so fucked up by everything.
Are you proud of yourself?
Yeah, I'm pretty proud of myself, yeah. And not just for this or whatever, but
Everything good. I hope you see that answer.
I just want to point out something. There was, and I think every fucking person has seen this on social media. And if you haven't, I don't know, you're under a blog, under a rock somewhere. Brad did this most amazing post last week, the reel last week, the one where he's talking about interior designers. And I remember watching it, and I remember thinking to myself, fucking Brad's back. Like, this is not the Brad that I've seen the last 2 years.
The wanky door handle one.
But this is Brad. This is the Brad that like is engaging, who's just endearing, who's just so unashamedly Brad.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I haven't seen that in 2 years. And now to see it, and then to see how buoyed you were getting from people like jumping in and resharing it. Not that it's about that, but just about, you know, that you have good things that are coming to you and you deserve good things.
yeah.
Like, and I think that was, I don't know, from the outside looking in, was something that could be like this catalyst to take the next step in a really positive way.
I really hope that things have turned around for me. And I actually had a few people message me and say the same sort of thing, that like, you know, we've noticed a real difference in you. You know, like my school friends have said to Erica, like, oh, we can see a real difference in him. Obviously, like, you know, she can tell. Yeah, things have really turned around, and now hopefully I'll be back on site at Bubs shortly, and you know there's some really good things in the pipeline with those guys, and for the future. And I'll
just cross him off my employee list.
You know,
damn it, Brad's
Hey,
gone.
you can still work for me.
But yeah, you know,
I got one final question. Knowing what you know now, and your son hypothetically is about to start an apprenticeship at the age of 18, what would you tell him?
I commented this on maybe it was one of Hoppo's posts. Just like, it's so important to understand how to communicate effectively with other people.
Not just on site.
In life.
Yeah.
You know, like a huge part of me feeling so shit was that I felt like I'm telling everyone how much I'm struggling. And mostly like immediate family, my partner. And they're fucking not hearing what I'm saying. But I'm saying it fucking directly. How more directly can I say it? But because of how I'd communicated things for so long, always in these fucking, like in the midst of being in the fight or flight, you know, things like they weren't truly understanding where I was coming from, you know. All the communication that they had got from me previously was that, yeah, he has a bit of a fucking vent and whatever, and then a few days later it's sorted out, or a few weeks later it's sorted out, you know. Yeah, so it's like understanding different people's personalities, how they communicate, how they, you know, give out information, how they receive that information. You know, and like I'm very thankful that Erica is such a patient person. You know, there's certainly been a lot of times, you know, especially like early on in our relationship, we're like, yeah, she probably should have just fucking legged it, you know. But she didn't. And yeah, she's always encouraged me to, you know, do better, I guess. You know, and she's always been extremely pragmatic in understanding, you know, when we eventually are able to have these difficult conversations in a calm manner, she's like, yeah, I can see, you know, how, you know, you would have been feeling in that exact moment or whatever, you know. And even like talking about, you know, like pressure, you know, like she's pretty desperate to have another kid. And I've sort of been a little bit of a fence sitter about it. You know, and she said to me a lot of times, she's like, oh, I'm not putting any pressure on you. And I'm like, well, you're not saying to me directly, knock me up. But, you know, when it looked like things were going to be back on track at Bubs ages ago, the prenatal fucking
vitamins
pop up in the fucking fridge. So it's like I open the fridge in the morning to, you know, whatever, and it's fuck staring me in the face. Like, you don't have to tell me that you want to do that. I inherently know that you want to do that, you know. The pressure from needing to pay a bill, even if someone doesn't send me a fucking bill, I know it's coming.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't go away.
Yep.
You know, and that's the thing, you know, when you've got this like mounting continuous pressure, people think because it's not directly said to you that it's not there. But it fucking is, you know what I mean? Like, you know, there's been times where, like at the early this year I had to go to Anglesey for work because it was like that was what was on offer. I fucking needed to pay the bills. That's what I got to do. But Flynn wouldn't fucking talk to me. You know? So it's like, well, I know this is what I have to do. He doesn't get it. You know? I know it's hard for Erica when she's on her own with a kid on their own, especially Flynn past 5 o'clock has a, you know, a different persona come out. You know, so it's like, fuck, I've got to leave behind my family to go and do this because I know it's what I have to do. You know, Eric hasn't forced me to do it. Flynn hasn't forced me to do it, you know, but that pressure's there.
Yeah. Just thank you for sharing.
From my side, mate, I know how hard it would be to come in here and, you know, just be so open and vulnerable about this. And I know that people that are listening to this now are, you know, if the only thing they take away from it is that, you know, resilience, you know, is there and resilience can get you through stuff, and there's always people around you to help you get through shit, which I hope you can see with the group of people that we've got around us. So.
Yeah, for sure. I like, you know, I just wanted to talk about it because I've spoken to a lot of people over the last couple of years and always been pretty open about things. And I've had a few comments from people that like, oh, hey, we really appreciate that you've said these things. I haven't had these conversations with anyone else. Obviously, there's, you know, a huge thing around mental health in our industry. And, you know, we have all these conversations around check in with your mates, make sure they're okay or whatever. But there's not many people that are actually genuinely having these conversations and being open and honest with this is exactly how I feel. You know, people might say, yeah, I'm struggling a little bit, but, you know, for the most part, people fob it off.
I think the thing is, like, if someone is having that conversation with, really listen. Because I think you can quite easily just sort of dismiss it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Brad.